Hi, Professor Ali. How are you? Hello,
Hello,
my
do you
lovely
hear me?
professor. Yes, now we can hear you
I'm,
well.
I'm really sorry for that. But I am in the car. I am driving, and I have brought the Wi-Fi equipment with me. And the moment I connected to the internet, the lots and lots of attempts were in vain because there is no voice. But now I am hopefully it works.
Can hear you well. So it's a
That's good.
pleasure. It's a privilege. It's high honor to
Oh well,
meet, to have this opportunity to speak with you, distinguished guests. Professor Ali, he's from Iraq. He's my lovely professor, and the
thank you.
professor is natively from America. So most
It's an honor to have him. It's an honor to have you, and an honor to have him too.
thank you so much. So today
Oh,
we're going to
thanks.
talk about the challenges, the obstacles, the problems of learning English. Then we can tackle and discuss, or beside that, we can talk about the best way to learn English.
Cool. All right.
Let's get started with the professor. Snively, he's from America. You have all the floor.
All right. Hello, Professor Ali. Abdullah, it's good to
Hello.
talk with you today. What we want to do are talk about some of the obstacles, the barriers, the hurdles, the challenges of learning English. There's a lot of people in the world, just hundreds of millions of people who want to learn or improve their English, and they want to know how to overcome these barriers. There are obstacles in the school where I teach. The students want to learn the pronunciation, the meanings of the words, proper context. And a lot of these things can be challenging. I have students from Asia who their native language is a tonal language. So it's a completely different mindset of trying to improve their English. So we were wanting to know, Professor Ali, what you think of these challenges? What have you encountered in teaching English? And we're going to talk later about solutions. Go ahead.
Yes. Well, thank you for giving me the floor, and I'm really happy to have this conversation with you, Doctor. And me as a student before I began before I am being a professor at the University of Tikrit, but I had lots of challenges because you know for as far as our culture is concerned, uh, Arabic Arabic people usually tend to be shy and embarrassed when they speak, and the major problem with that is that how to imitate. Usually I am urging my students to commit these mistakes, to overcome those mistakes, and never pay attention to them, and to be free when they speak. I told them, and Mr. Abdullah knows that very well, that committing a mistake is not the end of the world. You can start over and over. You may not stop. If you stop because of this barrier of embarrassment, then you will have such a failure in your goal of having English as a second language. So I usually do that. But first of all, it is the barrier of embarrassment, and as far as Arabic culture is concerned, because we were educated and we were raised with being very much polite. Not as much as Japanese, but maybe less than them by 100%. But the second concerning the second barrier, it could be the difference in culture, and there are certain things you in certain context in that culture you may say it. For example, we have Eid and you don't have Eid. You have a Thanksgiving day and you have Eve. We don't have much of these things, and you live with that. You live with these things, but we don't have these things. The different cultural differences then may play a part in this and become a barrier. And for me, grammar, because I was educated like a traditional way. When I commit a mistake, that was before 20 years or so. When I commit a mistake, and much of the students would laugh at me, and this will lead us again to the embarrassment barrier again and again. So, like I told you, Doctor, the best way for me, and you may see that reflected in though. Abdullah is not the best example because he is a very good student. He is excellent. The moment I saw him, I told him that he will be something in the future.
Thanks a lot, Professor. I really appreciate your support and your encouragement. You already helped me with my English. I'm grateful.
Yeah. No,
Thank you.
I only this year I taught you. I only teach seniors. Yes. Thank you very much.
Already amazing and inspired and fascinated by your pronunciation, by your accent, by your way to teach us. You already makes our lectures really lovely and funny sometimes. We really interact directly with your explanation, with your way to deliver a lecture. You already simplify and break it down the language. Yes.
Thank you. Thanks. If this was what you see, thank you a lot.
Well, I want to
Yes.
mention something that Professor Ali just talked about. And it was when I was in China teaching at the university. The students are very shy. They're very afraid of losing face. And I had to tell them, it's okay to make a mistake in English class. It's all right. It's fine. It's where you want. You practice and you get better, and then you gain your confidence. And I would do it enthusiastically.
Yeah. That's right.
And I do that
Exactly.
on my YouTube channel also, to tell the students, it's okay. This is you're learning. It's all right. And if you're shy, talk to the mirror, talk to a friend, talk to a family member, talk to your pet, turn on the computer, talk to the computer like I'm talking right now, and build the confidence and improve the pronunciation and understand the context and be able to put a sentence together with the subject and the verb and the object.
Yes. Well, you reminded me with that because I was doing that. My mirror was my only friend when I was a student. That's right, Doctor. Yes. So when you couldn't see that when I you couldn't see this language that I am having now when I was 20 years before, but now you may see that, but this is because of the mirror, and this is because of the MA. My MA courses, had given me a very big chance, and because of the information I had in English, it lets in this way. Let me have let me have lots and lots of to say in English, and the best way that I say it, so especially because I have finished my MA courses in linguistics. So having like a linguistic course, two courses actually, would pave a way for anyone to be fluent in English. I believe, much more, especially because some subjects in the material and the courses would be about phonology and phonetics. So we must compile. We must comply to these courses, and we have to succeed. Higher education in Iraq is a very scale is beneath. You may fail beneath 70. So you have to get a high score in order to pass successfully. So like I told you, English can be improved by further studies. Actually, one of the best way for me to have a language is the watching movie. I usually make the students do that. I tell them. So entertain the language. Go and watch movies. Learn from these movies the way they pronounce it. Especially the way I like American movies much more better than English movies. You know, this is a matter of taste and tendency.
Yes, Professor, it's just a matter of practicing. If you would like to be,
Yes.
yes, if you would like to be an a professional or a good speaker at English, you have to immerse yourself with the language on a daily basis. For myself, I really would like to just listen to the political speech so much. There are a lot of famous characters over the world. Some of presidents, they have a political speech, deliver remarks, maybe some of broadcasts, current events. I just listen to the news so I can listen and focus on, pay attention what they said literally. Then I can pause the shows, and then I can pick up new expressions, a new vocabulary. Then I try to translate and check what's the meaning exactly.
Yes.
It's a better way.
You know, Mr. Abdullah, the political speech as professor with us, Dr. Dan, again the name. Yes, Dr. Daly know that the political speeches have certain analysis. We call now, you know it, and linguistics we call it the CDA, a critical discourse analysis. Now, the way you see it, you may not pay attention to the literal meaning they say, because they may hide something behind these literal meanings they spell out of the mouth. So they may play with these words to have something, and they mean something, between the lines. Am I right, Doctor?
Well, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a college professor. I taught at the university, and but
Yes.
a lot of times advertising is a good example.
Yep.
Political speech is just advertising of a different type. A lot of different, messages, particularly like advertising. They'll tell you one thing, but what they're really trying to do is convince you to buy their product. And we call that the hidden agenda, the hidden meaning. What are very enjoyable, what I enjoy, are the TED Talks. These are professional people who are picking a topic, and they're talking very knowledgeably, and it's an honor to hear them. So anyway, when the professors are talking during the TED Talks, they're able to share with the audience fascinating topics, high technology, environmental, even some political, but mostly or economics. They're talking knowledgeably about a particular topic.
Yes, true. This is how to widen the knowledge you have in English, and I believe. Well, it's again as a matter of tendencies. I had a chance before I get assigned governmentally to teach at Linguaphone. If you ever heard about this institute. It's an institute, an English institute that teaches free people, how to learn English as fast as they can, as they need. So I had a chance to get acquainted with to the syllabus there. They told me, those who were experts there. They told me that the trademark, the trader, or the merchants may need to learn English in 6 months. So because they have to have a travel outside. They want to go on a flight somewhere, so they need to learn English. So they need, like you said, Professor, that you need to have knowledgeably, like you say, and economic, policy and like the speeches, like you said. and that's a good way to have an English learned from that area.
I've heard of some of these accelerated immersion programs, as long as they have enough information and teaching, it's preferable to, take longer times, but sometimes that's not possible. Sometimes there is a job requirement. One of the things, and that gets into specific purpose English, which is of specialized. I'll give you an example. Someone who gets a job in tourism, they're going to be working in a restaurant or a hotel. They're going to be working the front desk of a hotel. They have to be able to answer the questions the tourist is going to come up and be able to communicate information to that person. Here is your room key. Be able to handle the billing, the credit, the reservation, changes to the reservation, special needs of the people. And yes, you do need specific purpose English to accomplish those tasks.
Yes, that's right.
And if I may, also helps to have basic level English as a foundation to the specific purpose English, and just be able to be confident when they're speaking. Go ahead, Professor Ali.
Yes, sorry, Professor. But I believe that you have finished your PhD. Then I would say that you are a doctor.
No, I have not. I have a master.
You see, Doctor Professor, in English, most of the times, students, like I told you, they feel shy. But actually, in Iraq, before 30, let me say 30 year before 30-year-old or so, the program of English at school that was taught in Iraq, actually it is not that good enough. This is first because it was the socialist view that of B.F. Skinner and Bloomfield, a very traditional one.
Yes.
The USA came into Iraq, and they changed the program. Now you see that we were paying attention to those grammatical constructions, but now they lost that thing of paying attention to those grammatical constructions and pay attention only to speaking. But actually, sometimes they may speak, but they cannot write. And in English, you have to get those four skills: listening, writing, and so on. So, like I told you, generations in Iraq, generation after generation, were taught in that on that traditional program. Actually, only those who eager to learn English would it was realized that only those like Abdullah and someone with him, if he ever told you about him, his name is Khalid Abdullah.
Khalil.
Khalid. Khalil. Only those, because they are andragologists, not yes.
Well, one thing
So,
I do is when I was getting my TEFL certification, teaching English foreign language, we were using the CEFR. So, and when I went to get my master's degree, we did learn about B.F. Skinner and some of the others. And that was some of the foundational training that I was talking about when I was saying understanding the basics, going from the known to the unknown.
yes.
And like building blocks. And that's one of the way you overcome some of the barriers, is that you bring it along as a gradual process versus, like I say, a specific purpose English, which immerses you into a situation and is aimed at a particular outcome. They need a person who can do a particular job, and they train them enough English for that job. And that's
Yes,
the
that's right.
purpose. I think it comes down to purpose. I think that's my understanding of it.
Yes. Yeah. You before a while you said that they about embarrassment again. Those politeness strategies, they differ from language to language, from custom, from culture, and English, and they. How would I, as an English teacher, teach my students that only if I am a competent teacher? So the teachers in Iraq must be taught successfully in order to reflect these things successfully for them to be 100%, let me say 99% and native like English speakers. So they, like I told you, they do not know how they work, those polite strategies. So any strategic assumption the students may pay attention to must be taught by the teacher himself. So it could be a very tough subject for the very tough matter for the teachers before the students. So we have to teach the teachers, then we have to teach the students how and when and how the hows and whens in the context of use. Knowing the context too is very important. Very important to the matter of to the problem of teaching. I'm really sorry. I'm driving my car. Yes, Professor.
Be careful, Professor. I don't expect that you are driving right now. And please be careful and hold on.
Yeah.
And I wish you reach safely. Thank you so much for this, Professor.
Thank you very much.
It was great talking to you, Professor.
I am really, really grateful for you, Dr. Dale, and it's been a pleasure for me to get acquainted to such a humble, nice professor. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Abdullah, for this chance.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
You are a very good, an excellent student, and you have a very attentive and a very generous, humble visitor. Thanks for him a lot. Having such nice guys, such nice professors, in would make it your English flapping like wings in the sky.
Oh, thank you so much. With you also. With you, we learned a lot. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Right.
Professor.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much also for this time. I think it takes just 1 minute to finish this meeting. And I really, really appreciate your time and this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.